parents chose my sister's birthday party over my wedding. All 40 relatives went to her party. I married alone in a courthouse. 3 weeks later, my husband's company went public. $50 million, mom called. We need to talk about the family. I sent save the dates 8 weeks early. Cream cardstock. My own handwriting on every single envelope. I addressed them to aunts, uncles, cousins, my grandmother. 42 people who had watched me grow up. I dropped them all in the mail on a Tuesday and felt genuinely hopeful for the first time in years. Then my sister announced her birthday party. Same date, same city, custom invitations, a DJ, a catered venue downtown. She had seen my save the dates. She chose the date anyway. And my mom, instead of saying anything to her, called every single relative on my list and told them my wedding had been postponed due to a scheduling conflict. I found out from my aunt, who texted me 2 days before the wedding, "Heard you postponed, honey. See you at your sister's party." I hadn't postponed anything. I called my mom. She said I was being dramatic. She said my sister had already put down a deposit. She said, and I remember this word for word, "You've always been the flexible one. You understand how these things work." I said okay. I hung up, and I did not cry, which surprised me. What I did instead was open my voicemail app and save the recording of her call, her voice, her exact words, archived and labeled. My husband and I got married in a courthouse at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. No flowers, no music. My coworker showed up in a blue dress and cried through the entire 8-minute ceremony. A stranger on the courthouse steps offered to take a photo of the three of us. I still have it framed on my dresser. After, we sat on the hood of my husband's car in the parking lot and ate breakfast sandwiches from the place across the street. It was cold out. The coffee was too hot to drink for the first 10 minutes. He kept bumping my shoulder and saying, "We did it," like he still couldn't quite believe it was real. It was the best morning of my life. That night, I checked the family group chat. 40 people, balloons, a 3-tier cake with gold lettering. My mom in the center of every photo, arms wide, laughing. She gave a toast. I watched the clip. She called my sister the light of the family. 0 messages to me. Not one. Not even a typo. Not a single person in that group chat typed the word married. I muted the chat. Then I went back and listened to the recording of my mom's call one more time. Her voice completely steady. "You've always been the flexible one. You understand how these things work." I saved it in a folder on my phone, labeled it for later. 3 weeks passed. My husband was working 18-hour days on something he wouldn't fully explain yet. He kept saying, "When it's real, I'll tell you." I had learned not to push him. He never said anything until he was certain. On a Tuesday in April, his company went public. The IPO opened at $14 a share and closed at $19. $50 million valuation. His equity stake was worth just over $4 million on paper. My own equity, I had been employee number 7 at the company, was enough to permanently change the shape of our lives. The office erupted. People were hugging strangers in the hallway. Someone popped champagne at 11 in the morning. My husband found me at my desk and just said, "It's real." We went home and ate takeout on our secondhand couch and watched the financial coverage on mute. We were already looking up neighborhoods. A tech blog ran a profile 4 days later. Photo of my husband. His name, his title, company history. A college friend shared it on LinkedIn. Someone tagged him on Facebook. Within 48 hours, the article had traveled through every branch of my family tree. My sister screenshotted it and dropped it into the family group chat, the same chat where not one person had said a single word about my wedding. 27 messages in 90 minutes, every single one about money. Not one said congratulations, not one asked how I was doing. They went from 0 awareness to full financial interest in the time it takes to read a single paragraph. Mom called 6 times before I picked up. Honey, she used that word 4 times in the first minute. I've been thinking so much about us lately, about family, about how we let things slip and how we should all be so much closer. She skipped right past the wedding, past the save the dates, past the toast she gave at my sister's party while I was sitting in a parking lot on my wedding morning eating a breakfast sandwich. She just talked about closeness, about missing me, about family being everything. I waited until she was completely finished. "Mom, I kept the voicemail from the week of my wedding, the one where you told me I was the flexible one." Dead silence. "I'm going to play it for you right now."